All right, I just want to demonstrate how to walk at night. You know, with night vision, you've got a limited field of view. That's the reason why we're always turning our head left, right, up, and down. Now, in many situations, you've got to look straight ahead. You can't always be looking at your feet. So a good practice that I like to do here is just to be blindfolded and to focus on how to walk without being able to see where you're walking. Here we've got some pretty rough terrain with some rocks. Now there's no way to do this fast, certainly not safely, so just do it slowly. But at night, if you've got night vision, you're probably gonna be walking slowly anyways, so you don't create a bunch of noise. So let's give this a shot. I'm basically just feeling out the ground in front of me with my feet. I'm keeping my weight balanced. I'm lifting my legs high so I don't accidentally kick any rocks and sticks and make any noise. And I'm placing my feet where I've got a good platform to balance on. And we're going to make sure that we've got good solid footing to take our weight before we move our body weight forward onto that whichever foot was in lead. Once you get good at this, it's going to allow you to keep, your night vision at horizon level where it needs to be, rather than looking down at your feet the whole time, which is kind of pointless. Now, there's a lot of different functional movements, activities that you're doing while using night vision and shooting. I think that the night vision helmet can be a bit restrictive. So, practicing with white light first is always good. I think in a lot of training, the white light is important to master first, and then the night vision. Basic things like kneeling and completing other tasks like that are pretty easy. This is just a basic position. Shooter's kneeling, he's scanning left and right, various things like that. He can stand up and crouch down and all that, and move around cover pretty easily. One of the challenging things while wearing night vision is going to be getting down in the prone position. And that's simply because you can't tilt your head back far enough. So there's kind of a modified prone position where you're basically just laying on your side, looking straight forward. And in some environments that can come in handy. Oftentimes it's not needed, but if you're trying to take cover and there's just very limited defilades, such as just a depression in the ground or a small drainage ditch, or maybe just trying to get behind a log that's fallen over, that may be the best bet. So just, laying on your side and looking straight forward at your target, your body perpendicular to your target, you can keep that night vision front facing and, effectively shoot. You may have to get pretty low to shoot underneath something. Well, there you go. I wanted to next go over cover and concealment at night. There's a lot of different types of concealment out here. But again, with the white light, it's hard to stay concealed. A white light can be seen from very far off, even if it's small. You want to avoid silhouetting during shooting. Silhouetting, I'll give you an example of that. That could be just the background being illuminated. Now this is an example of silhouetting here. And you can see here that somebody positioned correctly can see the silhouette. If he understands where he may be being observed from, as well as just skyline silhouetting, being up on a ridge line, or as well as anything else closer to skyline. And that's different for different environments, whether it's urban or rural. That person using night vision is still at risk of someone who has a bright white light who is searching for them, because night vision doesn't make somebody invisible. Now, if you don't position yourself well, you can get yourself in a situation where you may have thought that night vision will protect you, but it doesn't. So the next topic to cover would be white light superiority, and use a little bit of misdirection to throw off whoever's looking for them and to get control back of the situation and reestablish, his stealth. All right, next I want to talk about strobing with these flashlights. The strobing effect also helps to disorientate, and There's other ways to use intermittent, not necessarily strobing, but just activating the light on and off while moving to mislead, your opponent. I'm not going to get too much into that, too much into tactics, but I just want to demonstrate that the white light is a very effective tool, within self-defense situations of night vision use. And then you can use the night vision just itself without white light to reposition yourself while remaining stealth. But again, once you're caught, that white light override probably is going to need to happen, because it's hard to defend yourself while wearing night vision against an opponent who has a white light on you. These movement techniques to maintain, your stealth is so important with any type of night vision training. So training and just understanding how to do things at night with the white light is the best way to start off. And then use the night vision just as a tool to move around, and also you can use it as a, aiming tool to put rounds on target, but only to the extent where that environment is safe to do so, where your opponent doesn't have that white light. And if he does, you need to have the skills to do an immediate white light override. We'll go more detailed in some white light overrides while wearing the night vision. It is definitely a skill to practice to get fast and accurate with. It may save your life. All right, I guess the first thing to cover is that, while you're using night vision, you're probably just patrolling. And how you're carrying that rifle is pretty important. This is a pretty easy way to carry the rifle, muzzle down. It doesn't cause too much fatigue. And for patrolling out in the wilderness area, it does pretty well. You can cover a lot of ground without getting fatigued. But you can also raise the rifle pretty quick, get into your shoulder, and engage a target, as shown. Now, the next type of carry position would be a muzzle up position. You may need to loosen the sling a little bit to do this one, depending on the rifle or what other gear you're wearing. But this is almost more of an urban or CQB position. It gives you better control and retention of the rifle against somebody who's taking it from you. And you should also be able to, bring that rifle to the ready and engage a target fairly quickly as well. Both methods have pros and cons, whether you're on a moving vehicle or patrolling, or the different environment you're in, that's going to really dictate which one you need to use. But it's always good to practice both and to know the pros and cons of each, carry position and get good with them. Now that this is the front body carry positions, there's also some positions where you can sling the rifle on your back if you need to keep your front sight clear. Maybe that's for low crawling, maybe that's for working with some gear on your front side. Various things like that. Thanks for watching part 2 of the basic night vision course video. Please watch part 3 and any future videos on advanced night vision shooting.